Okay, so another thing to consider when you're looking at your product is the first time you make the product, things might not go so smoothly. You know, you're in the kitchen doing something or making something and we get messed up, the materials don't go right, the recipe that we thought was going to work didn't work. And then once we get it down, even when we get it down, then there still might be some problems. But we have the experience and learning curve for you to consider. A drop in the average per unit production cost or time that comes with accumulated production experience. Over time, and it could be years. Think about the major operations. They started out with little batch processes, and now it's a huge operation of continuous flow. And we invest in equipment that becomes more efficient and more consistent and things like that. So over time, if you look at the major companies, they've experienced this for decades. But for you, in the next 2 weeks, and thinking about the cost of your product over time, you could see a drop in the average per unit production cost, which kind of I put in time because time is part of cost, right? That comes with accumulated production experience. So if it takes you, you know, an hour to do a batch of your drink, I'm trying not to give out ideas, you know, maybe over a couple of weeks, you can trim that time down and that cost down. And we have less waste. And if we look at dimming, we have dimming our Short's continuous improvement cycle. You make a little plan, you have an operation, there's little problems in there. So you come up with a plan for improvements, you do a little test, you study the results, and then if the results are attractive, we made an improvement, we adopt and implement the new idea, the new technique, and if it doesn't pan out, then we abort and start over. So this would continuously, our experience, our learning would take us to becoming more efficient and less costly. So related to this would be economies of scale. In a previous video, we talked about break-even quantity, looking at fixed cost and our production cost and our price. So economies of scale, you should have this in economics. The cost per unit drop when sales increase or production increases because fixed costs are spread out over more units of output. Meaning, if we had a fixed cost at your operation of $1,000 a month or a week for rent and labor, and we only made 1,000 units, those 1,000 units would have to contribute $1 a piece to cover that $1,000 fixed cost. So if we raise the production to 2,000 units, how beautiful is this? Then we only have to, only 50 cents of each product's revenue would go to cover the fixed cost. So as you can see, we doubled and we halved at the same time. So these are some things to think about. When you're building a new product for the first time, it's going to be a little bit rough. You'll come up with new techniques to make it more consistent, have more reliable quality, save some time, and save some money.